All right, we're here to play some Democracy. If you weren't here on Monday, don't worry about it. We are midway through our term, but we'll give you a little bit of a catch-up about the situation. This is Democracy 4, which has just entered early access. It is one of my favorite franchises. It allows you to run a country through this like kind of abstracted system, but it's a very, very, very functional system, and it's really great to manage things. Currently, yeah, so we're about halfway through our term. Priority 1, of course, is to not bankrupt the country. Priority 2 is get reelected. Priority 3, make good ethical choices. So far, things aren't too bad. The biggest demographics, it flips around a little bit. We're motorists, liberals, and ethnic minorities. And as we've made a few changes somewhere in there, because I think ethnic minorities started a little lower, but I think we provided a little bit of amnesty and we tweaked some of our immigration policies, and I think they've shot up a little bit. Now, none of those three categories adore me, but they do like me a little bit more than they dislike me, so that's actually a fairly good position to be in. Actually, we've pleased motorists a fair bit, which is interesting, because we've actually been working to sort of overall reduce the number of cars on the road by offering other incentives, but at the same time, it does mean that but we have put in policies that have made motorists happy, you know, increasing fuel efficiency standards and things like that, which they're quite keen on. I love it when Twitch fails to alert you about a stream. Balf, I know, man. It's such a pain in the ass. I don't know what Twitch's deal is in terms of proper notifications. It's just always been that way. But luckily our schedule's pretty consistent. At least we've got that going for us. Yeah, emptier roads could make motorists happy. This is true. I think congestion has gone down overall. Is this congestion over here? Yeah. It's gone down a little bit, and then it came back up again. But overall, okay. One of the things I don't think we realized was here, I didn't notice it last time, is we do have the state broadcaster put in. We have a public broadcasting thing, which doesn't get funded very much, which is accurate. I'm actually a big fan of sort of the CBC or national broadcaster in general, especially when it comes to like actual like, you know, television shows and that sort of content. And the reason I saw it is because I was looking over here at foreign relations over here, and I saw that state broadcaster is in here. It was like, wait, first of all, A, there's a state broadcaster. B, why would a state broadcaster improve foreign relations? And it finally hit me. When you think, for example, when you think about all the great things that the UK has done, as an example, what the UK has done that we enjoy all over the world, 90% of that has got to be like Doctor Who, right? Makes sense. There you go. So maybe we'll have our Dr. A show. We should fund it more aggressively, something like that. We export the BBC. Now, of course, one of the issues with state broadcasters that will always be one of the question marks is, you know, in terms of news reporting and things like that, and political balance and bias and things, and you know how they deal with that under different administrations. Monty Python, Blackadder, Faulty Towers, The Office, yeah. Dr. Moose. Murdoch Mysteries. I've never watched them, but I know that Kiss for Luck is a big fan of them. She basically devours all things mystery related. So I think she's watched a lot of those. Dr. Oot. What about Dr. Ood? I would watch a show about that. Dr. Ood. All right, so we've got that. We've still got some of the starting sort of badness things that were present from the start. We've got a high level of pollution. We did get it to dip down a little bit, but then I think we made other policies that strengthen our GDP, which increases industry and business and things like that, which meant pollution went back up again. But we are working to try to bring it down. We also still have this uncompetitive economy. A big part of the reason for it is, I mean, you know, corporate taxes. We have minimum wage laws, payroll taxes. We have pretty good productivity. Productivity is bringing down this uncompetitive economy, but we could have more productivity, which would help a lot. And we do have environmental protests. Now, they're starting to get a little less cranky about environmental protests, mostly because the environment is improving. So, that's been good. Midsummer Murders is ITV. ITV is, I gotta admit, there's a lot of really fun stuff on ITV as well. What else we got going on? We've got this obesity epidemic, although we've almost got it dealt with. We have been hammering away at this as much as we could. We provide healthy eating subsidies, we tax junk food, we have various campaigns to try to, you know, inform like healthy eating campaigns over here. We've got food standard agencies, good labeling so people can make smart decisions, and all these sorts of things. Our high level of GDP does contribute to obesity because everyone's got more money to buy poutine all time long. Okay. I don't know if I trust you, but let's see here, Balava. Balava says, hey, Quill, no puns today. One question. Why didn't you put in the state railway yet? It's rails and trains. You're right, I do love rails and trains, and maybe we should work on that, see if we can get a nationalized train service. Food stamps, I do believe, help, actually. Because I think the idea is they cover a lot of fresh food more than other things to sort of incentivize a little bit, something like that. I'm not sure. There might be a little bit like that. Yeah, Canada doesn't have a Nintendo Rail service. The problem with Canada is it's so goddamn big and so goddamn empty. It's the combination of the two makes certain telecom issues a lot more complicated and annoying, make public rail systems a lot more complicated and annoying. Even like cheap flights, flying within Canada is fairly expensive because, you know, sort of a volume density kind of thing. That combined with certain like taxes and airport expenses and things like that, make it a little bit on the high side. So it keeps presenting these problems in real life. That can be pretty frustrating, but maybe that's something that we can do then. So Quill, I get the impression you're enjoying Baldur's Gate so far. Oh yeah, we'll talk about some more Baldur's Gate a lot as we go forward. I don't know how far we're going to go in Baldur's Gate in early access, because I'm always worried about burning myself out on early access when it's just, you know, part of the game. And then later on the full game comes out and I'm like, you know what, no, I don't know, I feel like doing it now, which is a pretty terrible feeling, but I don't think that's going to be as much of an issue with Baldur's Gate. Alright, I think this is the beginning of a new turn. We've actually got a surplus of nearly $4 billion last quarter, which is nice. Still a lot of debt, wouldn't hurt to pay that down a little bit. On the other hand, if we can do a few more things that help stimulate the country, that wouldn't be a bad thing altogether. We do still have these doctor strikes, which I would like to help with. If we go, like, completely crazy on the healthcare, at some point, the Doctor Strike modifier from this does go kind of Super Saiyan range, but I don't know about that. Is it also the hospital overcrowding, which would be helped by boosting the private healthcare system, the public healthcare system, the state healthcare system, or providing extra vouchers and things to boost the private one. All major operations, serious illness. I wonder how to, like, classify this. I would kind of be tempted to boost the healthcare system with the extra money that we've got here. Doing something like that helps counter unemployment because we're hiring more people, of course. Dramatically reduces hospital overcrowding, which would make a big deal. It does bring down the amount of private healthcare available because we're taking over more of it, but that might not be a problem. It doesn't do that much with the doctor strike. I would really like to get this taken care of. We could go stricter on the labor laws. I don't know how to deal with this. I don't know the best way to handle this. Other than being like, going pro-employer, but I don't think that's the idea. I wonder if there's another policy we could do that might help somehow. Because it only tells you from your current policies what's affecting it. It doesn't tell you everything about everything you could possibly see. I mean, healthcare vouchers, so that, you know, the government provides it and then you go and spend it at private healthcare things. I don't really want to increase the private healthcare system, though. It's not what I was looking for. Well, we can take a look at the vehicle stuff as well. Do we want to start the state rail company? It's fairly expensive. Helps boost productivity. Nukes can solve any problem. So it's true. Solving obesity might, you know, if it helps lower healthcare demand, it doesn't seem like it's making much of a difference over here. I mean, it's still good overall. I kind of feel like I would like to boost maybe state healthcare. Alright, food stamps to finish off obesity. Yeah, and it's not a terrible idea in general. So we'll run this, It helps to lower poverty, which is great. Improves equality. Farmers like it. Because, again, people are buying sort of more fresh local food is the idea, you know, because you incentivize certain types of food with the food stamps. It does make me appear much more compassionate, which can help with elections. It's not free. Although at minimum level, it would even have an effect here, which is interesting. We could have token amounts of food stamps. It's actually surprisingly helpful. Tell you what, I'll just leave it at this sort of medium level over here. Not too expensive, still decent benefits. I think that'll be okay. Keep your popularity in check. Currently well, we're working on the re-election. Our popularity has been going up and up and up, which is great. So the other thing we could do is look for policies that are specifically popular with more voters as like a statistical advantage. So foreign investor tax breaks, I don't know if that's the sort of thing we want to encourage. I mean, money's still a thing. So a lot of people would approve of a national business council. Boost GDP, capitalists like it, socialists don't as much. Rural development grants. This actually makes everything better. Does increase car usage as people are going out there, but helps to lower unemployment. It's not that expensive either. I think I kind of like this idea. And it's generally popular with the voters. Makes a lot more farmers. I don't like the car usage going up, but the rail's not so bad. Yeah, you know what? I think this is a great idea. Let's run that. That's basically our political capital spent. Let's go to the next turn. We don't have a monorail. They don't actually have monorail anymore. They have high-speed rail instead. There's a trade dispute between a couple of countries going on. International trade is dropping. Food prices going up. Business confidence going down. That's not good. There's also a religious plot. The Angels of Heavenly Justice are certainly... They're working on... They don't like me too much. We may have to go and implement some slightly more aggressive policies. Oh my god, torture. Just so I don't get executed by the religious. We could boost, closed-circuit television. The liberals don't like it because it does infringe on personal rights, right to privacy, an implicit right to privacy. But it doesn't show it here, but it does help us with our national security system. I don't think I want to go facial recognition system. It's just a little too cray-cray. Is that 18 people? That is 18 people, but those 18 people who are basically, formed a terrorist cell is what those 18 people represent. I think I'm going to pop up the CCTV. Because I don't want to die. Gig economy is taken off. Sucks. But let's hope we can bounce back with that soon. Did we still not lose our obesity? Oh my god, it plateaued! Maybe the food vouchers didn't help. Our GDP's too good. It's a big problem. I mean, we could run ID cards. Oh, I'd need 48 political capital to implement it. So that's not really possible. Curfews, secret courts, torture. I don't want any of this. Mandatory microchip implants? Oh my god! Oh, that's so wrong! Detention without trial. I don't know. I suppose we could consider boosting wiretapping. Oh, it actually goes in discrete chunks over here. That's interesting. Nerve staple. Alright, we'll go ahead and increase a little bit of this too, just because I don't want to die. I'm hoping that we do get some other fixes. Oh, private space industry's taken off. Nice! We've got our old SpaceX! Although historically big space projects have been undertaken by government, advance in technology means there's now a huge potential market for commercialization of space exploration and space travel, including private satellites, space tourism, even asteroid mining. Everyone likes it, GDP goes up, patriots are always impressed by it. Nice! Alright, we've got a proposal to vote on! Ready your chats. A number of large agricultural companies are interested in growing genetically modified food on our soil. Some food can be genetically manipulated to allow for longer shelf life and both disease and herbicide resistance. Hey Fletcher Reed! Can you implement a Pope-mobile? That's a good idea. Opponents are concerned about the potential risks associated with altering the food chain. So we could allow it. GM crops have huge potential benefits. Not only do they increase shelf life and thus reduce costs for the sellers, but they also reduce the need for pesticide, thus meaning less harmful chemicals in use during their production. It's also possible for foods to be created with other benefits, such as improved vitamin content. Or we could ban it. There's no need for genetically modified food. The benefits are great for producers, but not for consumers. We simply do not know enough about the long-term effects of genetically modifying the food chain. Scientific research is all well and good, but once released into the environment, these organisms cannot be recalled. We should act now to protect the food chain from GM food. Looks like chat is very much in favor of allowing it, so we will go ahead and do that. So it's going to upset the environmentalists, boost GDP, and the capitalists like it. Now, of course, we do have a lot of environmentalists, but they already pretty much like me. So hopefully we're okay there. Our popularity took a dip a little bit, but it's going back up. We've still got about a third of our term left, which is good. Is this still flatlined and in fact going up? Arg! Okay, can we add like more sports? Youth clubs? It's possible. City farming might, you're right, because there might be more fresh veg. It doesn't list it here, but it might. It's easy to implement with only 3 political capital. The costs are low. Yeah, mostly it just makes the farmers happier, and more farmers, but I think that's an okay idea. BC going up, food prices going down. Right, by allowing GM food, the food prices go down, so people are eating more food. It would just be nice to break some of these problems. All right. Ethnic minorities. You're a very large voting bloc. There's some racial tension. It's not huge. And we are still implementing some things that are coming in that will help lower that. I don't think I want to slacken border controls if we're having problems with potential assassinations, unfortunately. Carbon capture will lower GDP and raise environment. I mean, I guess that's true. It doesn't seem to actually hit the GDP directly, which is a little surprising. Oh, organic farming. Oh, there we go. And it does affect obesity. Let's max this out. Yeah, I should have ran that sooner. Okay, that was literally exactly the political capital we had. Religious plot. Oh, they're up to 132 members. Expand public right away. Oh, as we build more houses in the country, once open land that used to be used by walkers and hikers increasingly become closed off and considered private property. Socialist campaigners have protested these changes and are calling for an expansion of protected public right-of-way. If we take no action, private land is private land, regardless whether it's farmland, industrial land, or someone's garden or yard. The idea that because people have taken a certain path for many years, that they should continue to have the right to trespass on private property is ridiculous. There are plenty of public roads and parks people can make use of, or we can expand rights-of-way. So much of our country is now private property that people's access to open countryside is worryingly restricted. Does it really matter if a farmer if a few walkers and hikers occasionally cross their land on a designated footpath? We should ensure that open countryside and footpaths are easily accessible to everyone. I'm going to go with expand right away simply because I'm hoping it'll encourage people to walk around more and to reduce obesity. I don't know if it will. It's going to upset some farmers. Socialists are going to be happy. A few more people here, a little cranky. All right. For campaigning, we're pretty compassionate. Let's see if we can do a media stunt to make ourselves look stronger. Judo Special Forces. I'm gonna go for high success chance over here. So lowered impact. I mean, we could do the math on like expected value on some of these. But yeah, we'll be interviewed while jogging. We'll encourage people to go running around. Ah! Damn it! Didn't work. And part of it is, I don't know how do we get activists for us. Private space industry. That is cool. You know what we could do? We could lower income tax. That'd be pretty popular. Costs us tons of money, though. Trip 10 steps into your jog. Yeah, maybe. Set it to 0. No, I don't think we're going to cancel income tax. Set it to 90. Health tax credits. Spending money, private healthcare. That's not what I'm looking for here.
It's whiskey and chocolate.
Hey, Belvala. Ban low mile per gallon cars. Decrease car usage. Might be something we could consider. There you go. We'll have 30 political capital. What if next turn we ban low MPG cars? It'll help the environment. It'll also reduce car usage, which might also impact the obesity. Yeah, exactly. Would help obesity. That's what I'm wondering about. Bale, what did you say? Every good state leader needs a secret whiskey and chocolate bank account and to secretly fund the trains. I think we need to play Tropico after this is what needs to happen. We'll piss off the motorists, that's true, and that is a big block. They hate bus lanes. And they don't like traffic congestion. I mean, maybe if we just did more, you know, the poor like me. Maybe I should just make more poor people. There you go. The middle income, yeah, they just really hate the income tax. They also hate the inheritance tax. Which doesn't bring in that much money, although it helps with equality and various things. Yeah, everyone hates taxes. No one likes to pay taxes, but the question is, are you getting good value for your taxes? Alright, I think what I'm going to do... Cutting from tax 10%. I mean, it would just tank our economy, though. I mean, yeah, we'd run a deficit, that's for sure. We'd definitely run a deficit.